Hey guys, so this is a video I've been meaning to make for a while now. This is Kanka. This is the tool that I use to kind of prep and keep control of NPCs and characters and stuff like that in my head. Well, rather on here, rather than having to do it on my in my head. I think this is a pretty good tool. For any game that you run. I used to do Google Drive and Excel docs and Word docs, and just it was all a bunch of different notes all over a bunch of different. It was all in Google Drive, but it was kind of disjointed. I like this system because you can give access to your players. This works as a nice handouts feature. Roll20 has some cool stuff like that, but this gives them a place that they can access it without needing to log on to Roll20, and they can contribute themselves too, and you can control their access and stuff like that. So what we're looking at right now is I have logged in as Ash Vashidan. And so that way you're not getting any accidental spoilers. I have thought about recording this like a week or two ago and then posting it. That way all the spoilers, but who knows? So you're just seeing her as a player view. She can do most everything I can as the storyteller and the admin for this. This is just the dashboard here. You can see people who have been recently modified. So if you're caught up on our videos, you know about Beck. So there's a little bit of info there that's just hovered over. You can obviously Gabe Miller. That skull. He's dead. You all should know that because he is as you can see there, I can't move. Yeah. He is a ghost. So duh, of course he's marked as dead. Just handy tool for me to search through. So that's a thing that you can toggle. Actually, let's go ahead and open up Gabe. This is an example of an NPC. You can see some story stuff. You can see personality traits, different stuff like that. You can see his Numina. And this is all stuff that Ash created and updated. There's also some relationships. So you can see that he is marked as a sister to Atratus. He doesn't have anything going on in his notes there. Entity notes, you can't see it, but I actually have some personal notes that I have made about Gabe that I don't want Ash to be able to see. And so they're here, just hidden, and they're made for myself. So you can do that. You can come in and set a visibility of all or self, allowing some ability to hide things. Now, of course, if you do set it as self, I think the admin can still see it, but people who are marked as self, I can't remember the exact level of permissions. I haven't played with that too much, but it's just open text that you can type whatever. But the cool thing is in any of that open text, and here, you can link to things, which allows you, so if we can say here, Atratus' twin. Well, let's go in here. We can actually change this. So instead of Atratus' twin brother, we say, oops. There we go. You got to remember to do this. You got to do that. There we go. Atratus. So Atratus' twin brother. Save. Doop. Haha. Now we have a link, and I can go, hey, yeah, Atratus' twin brother. Who's Atratus? Bloop. Hey, it's Atratus. And so her information here and her personality traits, her relationships. Oh, she's a friend with Shauna. Who's Shauna? Let's jump over here. Hey, here's Shauna. So that all allows you, and we'll jump over to characters. You can set up every little character and then any that have relationships, whether that's their friends, their siblings, their rivals, anything like that. That lets you link them all up very, very quickly and easily and navigate from one to another rather than going, what was their name? What was their name? Now, of course, all depends on you doing that prep work ahead of time, which is one of the things I'm working on these past weeks, is trying to get this a little fleshed out a little bit more and filled stuff out. So that's characters. You also have families. Somebody asked, hey, if I'm using Kanka, should I use families for the cabals? I don't think you should. There's nothing that says you can't, but families are families. So we have the Miller family, we have the Saphiran family. Those are the only families that we know of in the game. Okay, cool. What should I do if I want to make a cabal? Well, that's what organizations are for. They all they work the same way, but it allows you to actually separate stuff out. That way, you can leave families as talking about families and organizations talking about organizations, especially when you talk about the ability to do parent organizations. So here we have the Party Cabal. And they're what type of organization? They're a cabal, as opposed to a concilium or a caucus or a senator crew. Where are they located? New York. Again, locations are a thing that you can just set up. But the party cabal is part of the New York Concilium, and it also has 4 members. Well, so I can come in here to party cabal, and I can look and see that there's not really any notes. We don't really need to keep any notes. We know who they are. But I can see, hey, 4 members, boom, 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 boom. There's them. Do they have any specific role in the cabal? Right now, no, they're all just kind of cabal mates, right? But I can go over here, New York Concilium, where there are some notes, but I've got those hidden. And it's an organization. Oh, there's the party cabal. Also, members. You will see 15 of 9. 15 of 19. Why is that? Well, that's because there are 19 total members and then 15 who are directly members. So these guys, they're part of the party cabal, not directly the concilium. Where everybody else, they're actually part of the concilium. Now you could come here and filter, and okay, these are only the 15 that are actually members. So that gives you the ability to do, kind of digging in, delving deep, whatever. There's a term, drilling down, I think is the term, to enable you to see who's what. And this, of course, you can see here, I actually have roles for these different people and what they do. So we talked about Camille a while back being the interfector. I'm not clicking on any of these because there might be some spoilery stuff that we haven't gone over yet. You can also do stuff like items. You'll notice here we've got a little bit of a little glitch in the text. I don't know why it happens there, but we have Thrassazon's Codex Cerebromancy. It's a grimoire. It's a 24 by 12 inch stone slab. It was discovered, and it's under the care of Adamantine Arrows, last month by Mashta, the Temple of Prosperous Future. Oh, there we go. Relationship calendars. Don't have anything else. That's what the players know. On my end, obviously, I have some notes that I've put in that I can reference while we're playing. I can pull up they start deciding to work on the codex again. Boom, I can pull up the notes and right there. And actually, let me show you real quick. Who has notes that I can think of off the top of my head? Who does have notes? I could have sworn. We'll just show you real quick. We'll just call this test. One thing I like about the notes is while I'm running around here and I'm navigating, if I want to look at what that note is, I can just click and just as a little pop-up. So it doesn't make me go into it. Also means I can have all the other stuff. So I can have my most recent note up here, which will, drag down here if it gets a little bit longer, but I can still see all the other stuff. So that's cool. Also, for those of you who are like glaring at the screen, there's a dark mode. I just can't access it while I'm impersonating somebody else. And when I view this on my own, it's actually dark. So yeah, that is a thing you can change. So obviously we have organizations, we have locations. Locations have a cool little thing here. You recognize our various locations, but let's jump over to New York. And we have all the same standard notes and stuff like that. But one of the cool things you can do here, I don't think I've uploaded one. Oh, of course, I can't edit this, but you can add maps. So if I have a location and I actually have a map for it, and this is probably really good for those of you who may play D&D, or if you have a very puzzly kind of place that they're going to explore around or something like that where you want to have the map on hand, either for yourself or to provide to the players, you can actually upload them and have maps. I haven't played with the tool too much, but that might be a thing I do soon when I drop all the known hallows and stuff like that for New York. That might be a thing I do. You also have notes. Here we have Weird's notes. This is her session log. And so this is just, you literally just put whatever you want in here. And tags are super useful. I have got to go through here. That's one of the things I've got to work on. But obviously you can tag everybody by their path, their order. You can see here Geist, so I can have all the Geist tagged. That allows me to, okay, well, I need, let's go to characters over here, and I need all the Acanthus. That is probably not going to work great. Okay, so these guys, Now, this is probably not because they're actually tagged properly, just because they're actually in here, because I think there's a few more acanthus, but that allows you to search by tags and stuff like that. So that's very, very handy. Like I said, sorry, going back here, we had our general notes. So this is any kind of notes. You can drop session logs and stuff like that. There is one I don't have. Oh, no, I do have it here. Conversations. So if the if the PCs become aware of an NPC conversation that you want to be clear and have them be able to reference back, you could actually put it in here. Obviously, because I'm impersonating Ash, you can't see, but allows you to literally, it's just basically a place to put down a bunch of text. But notably, you can talk about who was the participants in it. So you can lay everything out by participant. And so they said this, back and forth, giving you a nice little place. And it's a conversation. It's set there. It's not lost in among all the notes. And you can add different stuff like when did they have it? Where did they have it? Stuff like that. That's kind of cool. Events, coming back over here to our sidebar. We had the opening the heavens. This is the only one I've bothered to put in so far because this was a big note. This was the rite that the Rescue 1 performed back on March 15th. You guys remember March 15th? Way back when. That was session 1. And so there we go. And we can have information. I didn't put any in because opening the heavens, that's it, right? But you can, again, connect it to everything else. Calendars, very, very important thing here. We'll get back to that. But so these are the different things that happen. These are the events that happen. They do have an inventory. So if they're items that were related to the event, you can put that in there, as opposed to characters who would be a relationship, right? And you have calendars. This one is not really set up because you have to create a calendar, and that's for you who are doing a fantasy setup. Now, you could create like a werewolf lunar calendar and give it different months and days and stuff like that. You can do that if you're playing in a fantasy realm and you have a calendar that is 13 months of 28 days with 1 extra day, and on leap year 2 extra days, the perfect calendar. You could do that, and you could input this, and then hey, there we go, guys. We live on this step-by-step calendar, which is really kind of a cool little tool because you can actually go in and say, okay, this is today's current date, or this event happened on this day. And so you can track stuff out. That way, when the players go, hey, what day is it? Where are we at? What festivals are coming up? You have access to it all in a calendar that they could see. And it's a fantasy calendar that you set up. You can even set up like moons, cycles, and what, certain festivals, the days of the week. All that you can set up, create your own fantasy thing. Quests, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a quest log. We haven't used those because, well, I'll be honest, I'm not going to track that for the players. If they want to come in here and use this, they're able to. They're actually not able to. They can't create their own quests. So I'll go fix that in permissions later. But this is where they could come in and set up. This is the name of the quest. This is the type. Who gave me this, blah, 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 and detail it out. That way they don't lose track of certain threads. Very handy. Journals, you guys may be familiar with these. These are Weird's journals, which I think I need to post a couple more of these. I've been slacking, sorry. And then we have Atratus's goals, and the very personal goals there. So we're not going to dig into those. If you have the Sleepwalker status and Patreon, you do have access to this, so you can read them. Tags, we did those. Connections, and you can't. Oh, actually, yeah, you can see it. Attribute templates. This is a handy thing for when you're creating stuff. So you can't see them here as Ash. But one of the things I can apply when we create a new character is a template. There it is. Attributes, excuse me. So you can select a template. Now, Ash doesn't have access to my templates, but I have a mage template, which automatically puts in path and order. Now, with the tags, I'm probably going to lean over to tags instead of using these templates. But this allows you to, like, every time I create, and this is, again, more of a D&D or other fantasy, thing. Hey, every time I create a player or so you could create a player template, right? And I need these attributes. I need their level, I need their race, I need their class, I need their subclass. boom, 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 every time you create a character. And then you can create these attributes that just always spawn, so you can fill them in without having to create them every single time. Handy little thing. You do have traits. This is more for your appearance and personality. And you can, as an admin, mark something as whether the personality is visible or not to everybody else. It's very handy because we can come in here. Yes, we can leave this. And where's our good friend Sun? Sun and Winter, who you guys have not met yet. But he has a personality, but you can't see it here. You have his description. So that's what he looks like. But Sun and Winter has a personality, and he has some goals. And this is because he is the organizations. He is the hierarch. So of course I created some ideas and plans for him and how he wants to proceed forward, right? So I have that built in. I have those things, and those are listed under his personality. You could technically do notes too. But his personality, how he interacts with people, and that's set over there. But it's hidden so nobody else can see it. Again, admin tools and stuff like that. So that is the long and short of Kanka. This is a little bit shorter video. Mostly this is just so you guys who are already patrons and have looked at the Sleepwalker tier and going, I don't know, what am I actually getting? This is what you're getting. And I will be frank. This is just me using the tool, right? This is not me, sponsored or anything like that by Kanka. I just like the tool. So I'm using it as I would use it normally, right? So I'm not in here fleshing everything out. I'm not uploading a picture for every single person or anything like that. This is just me using the tool as I need it. So you have access to that. The players, when they need it, when they want to use it, they update it. So that is what you're getting access to. But this is the tool. And besides all that, if you are a storyteller yourself, if you're a DM and you're running games and you want a handy tool to keep everything organized and give some stuff to the players without having to, be super controlled on it, this is a way to do it. For me, when I was using Google Drive, I basically made, a handout for my own self about like cities and different stuff like that, and who different NPCs were and what their ranks were and what their personalities were. Then I basically had to make a second version of it to provide to the players. This lets me do the same thing, but I only have to make it once. And I just say, you can't see that, you can't see that, you can't see that. And now they're all set. So I like it. I think it's a useful tool. It does have some cool customization options. You can, should you wish, come down here and actually make it a public campaign so everybody could come see it. Obviously, we're not doing that. So it is private. But if you're wanting to make it available for other people to see, if you're doing something like West Marches for D&D, where it's a very open campaign, this is a very good tool for that. And I'm trying to think. We did characters, we did families, we did locations, organizations, line notes, events, calendars, quests, journals, tags, conversations, attribute templates. That is basically all of it, guys. Obviously, you can, there are some admin tools for controlling roles. So who can do what? So you can make a bunch of different roles. So you can create hey, this is my co-storyteller that's running another mage game, and they're set in San Francisco, and we're going to pool notes so that you can cross over and do a cool crossover thing. Awesome. This would allow you to do it. You can both have storyteller ranks. Your players are down below. Or in my case, I have the storyteller rank. There's the players, and then we have the sleepwalkers who can view a bunch of stuff. They can't edit or add stuff. And my players can't add stuff, and they can edit stuff they've added, but they can't edit stuff they haven't added. So that allows Ash to make Ate and Shanna, and Mammon to make Beck. All those characters, were created, and that this is what I reference when the NPCs show up in the campaign, in the Chronicle. I pull up Kanka and I look at the notes that they have added, and depending on how detailed or loose they've given the description, I go with it. So if they're really buttoned down on who this character is, then I can lean right into that character. If, however, they've kind of left it open, cool, I can do that too. And that lets me, I have an understanding of what they want from that character. For instance, Mammon is very precise on what he wants from Beck. Meanwhile, Ash is very open about Ate and Shanna. It's just, these are the people. There's vaguely some information about them. Go with it, and she wants that. Same thing with Chris and his three, Ethan, Jimmy Smalls, and can't I remember the third guy. And see, this is the cool part. I can just come over here, characters, and I can go Songbird. And hey, look, Jerry, that's him. And then, yeah, Onyx too. So all these guys, they're, yeah, and somehow, so we come in here, Jerry, one of Songbird's oldest friend. And now we know that connection. I believe it's in here as a relationship. So all that stuff, that is how this is very useful to me as a storyteller, especially when I'm doing stuff off the fly. They decide, hey, I'm going to go swing by the gym and go meet up with Jerry. And I go, Jerry? Who's Jerry? I can immediately come in here and Google it and find out. So, yeah, without making this run much longer, this is the tool. I enjoy it. I think you guys might enjoy it too if you're a storyteller or a DM. Check it out. And if you're a Sleepwalker, if you're looking at the Sleepwalker Patreon tier, this is what you would have access to. Yeah, that's it. I'm tapped out. And we will see you guys on, when we see you next. Bye.